Please remain standing. Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, I would like to direct everyone's attention to the flag that is in the front of the church. We ask you all to stand as we join together in the national anthem. Please note that while typically we remove our head coverings, if it is academic regalia, such as with your graduation caps, it may remain on your heads during the playing of our national anthem. Thank you for your attentiveness. Please be seated, everyone. Greetings and welcome. My name is Dr. Barry T. Lease. I'm the President and CEO of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. Once again, it is my distinct honor to serve as the presiding officer for this 168th commencement exercise of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. This commencement exercise includes students from both our online and campus-based programs. So we welcome all. We are PIMS. It is a sincere privilege to welcome all of you today who've gathered for this special event. But I'd like to reach out especially to any of the PIMS alumni who've come back to visit us, be part of the ceremony today. We welcome you, PIMS alumni. Graduates, as I did on your first day of orientation, if you're on campus, if you were online, you missed this one, but I want to begin by thanking you. Thanking you on behalf of our board of directors, our staff, our faculty, our administration. Thank you for choosing us for your funeral service education. You now are about to join an alumni base of about 8,000 plus, and we know you will make us proud. Additionally, I would also like to thank some other very special people who contributed to this moment today. First and foremost, graduates, as you went through this journey, whether it was online or on campus, you needed a support system. This is a difficult program. And there were probably times that all of you needed that shoulder to cry on, that reassuring, it's going to be okay, you can make it. And who most likely provided something like that was the people that were most special in your lives, your friends and family. And what I'd like you to do, graduates, is recognize all of them. I'd like you, all friends and family, please stand up and let our graduates thank you for your help. I like it. Krista. Next, I'd want to mention some other people who had a little bit to do with you being here today. And that would, of course, be the people I'm honored to come in every day and work with. It's our PIMS team of faculty, staff, and fellow administrators. I am just so amazed at the selfless group of people that come in there every day whose only focus is on your success. They work hard, they are tireless in their support, and I'd ask them all, PIMS faculty, staff, and administration who are here with us, please stand and let our graduates give you a thank you. And you know, probably there are people here today at a graduation, they're saying, they had a dog at that graduation. Can you believe that? And yes, we do have a dog on our staff, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Mr. Lachko to bring out probably the student's favorite living being at the school, Sydney, the grief therapy dog. Sydney, you want to come out for a little while? Yes, Sydney has earned her doctorate, as you see by the 3 stripes on her gown. I don't know how that joke was going to go, Mr. Lachko, but I tried it, okay? While the faculty, staff, administration, and Sydney were present in your daily lives, there is another group of people who work sort of behind the scenes to ensure that the Institute is functioning on all cylinders, to ensure that you have the strategic resources and items you need to make this the best educational experience possible. And some of those unseen people are here today as dignitaries, and I'd like to recognize them one by one. First and foremost is the Admiral of the flagship, Chairman James O. Pinkerton. Mr. Pinkerton. Board members Glenn Fleming and Eugene C. Ogrotnik. And a very special welcome to our brand new board member. This is her first graduation attending as a PIMS board member, Chandra Law. Chandra, welcome to the board. Finally, I'm also pleased to welcome one more dignitary, and that would be Dr. Sylvia Steffen. Dr. Steffen comes to us from Youngstown State University, where she serves as the director of the Allied Health Science Program. I am so pleased on behalf of PIMS to welcome Dr. Steffen to what I hope is the first of many PIMS graduations that you will attend, because as of September 2023, PIMS and YSU have entered into an articulation agreement in which the credits that you earn at PIMS will be accepted with status to YSU. Any program that you attended at PIMS will be accepted, and for those of you who are graduates out there and are thinking about coming back to get a bachelor's degree, they will accept it. And the degree you would earn would be towards a Bachelor of Science in Allied Health Science. Dr. Steffen, thank you, welcome aboard, and let's recognize you. The Penguins, right? They're the Penguins, okay. If you would permit me just a few brief remarks now that the salutations are over. Graduates, today, though, really is your day. As your history books of life are drafted and lived out, written each day, hour by hour, day by day, this rite of passage serves as I'm going to tell you the first day of your funeral service career, and I'll tell you why. It not only recognizes hard work and diligence in completing the program, but it is a day whereby, a bit later in the ceremony, led by none other than Mr. Nicholas Ritchie, you will stand and take the funeral service oath. And when you take that oath, you have made a covenant with this noble profession. That is not to be taken lightly. Graduates, that said, in making that covenant, some days you're going to need it. Because I will tell you, I know I speak for every licensed funeral director here today, this ain't easy some days. This chosen career, some days, just quite frankly, might make you even question what you did. But graduates, let me suggest this to you. On those days, and you will have those days, I promise you, somewhere keep a copy of this oath. Maybe put it in your pocket, put it in your suit pocket, your coat, and remember the immortal words that you selflessly pledged today, swearing on all that is sacred, that into whatever house you shall enter, it will always be for the comfort of the bereaved and the care for their decedent loved ones. Graduates, as I bring this opening remarks to a conclusion, let's be frank. I mentioned to you, there are days when you are going to be asked by funeral service to give more than you are capable of giving or that you want to give of yourself. It is that selfless. But it is on those days that I would not only ask you to clutch to the oath, but remember these immortal words that I'd like to share from you, and fittingly they were uttered by the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King as we celebrate his holiday on Monday. The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in a moment of comfort and convenience, but where you stand when you're challenged or in controversy. Graduates, accept the good times with the challenges in your career, put all things in their proper perspective, live out that oath every day, and I promise you, in the words of the oath you will conclude with, you will enjoy honor in your life and in your profession and be respected by all people for all time. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Our keynote speaker comes to us, well, from us. He is truly a legacy in the funeral service. And up until April 2023, he served as my predecessor as the president and CEO of the Institute for, well, let's just say a few years. He continues today serving as a dignitary of the Institute with the honorable title of President Emeritus, while also, as we recognized him earlier, serving as a member of our board of directors. To most of the PIMS graduates joining us today, aside from this current group and maybe one or two classes prior, this guy needs no introduction. You know him as Gene, or Mr. Grotnick. His vision, his leadership has been the driving force to make Pittsburgh Institute the premier funeral service educational school in the country. We think so much of him, we named an award after him for the best of the best. In the interest of pomp and circumstance, though, it is my truly distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you all our keynote speaker of the 168th commencement exercise of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. Graduates, families, friends, alumni, presenting the speech, Grab the Brass Ring, It is Serendipity. I present to you the Honorable Eugene C. O'Grady.
Thank you, Dr. Lees, for the kind words. Good afternoon, Dr. Lees, faculty, administration, board members, family, friends, alumni, and of course, graduates. I am humbled to be here in the pulpit. There's an old saying that goes, the days are long, but the years are short. For over 40 years, twice each year, I spent these days marshaling graduates and speakers similar to this event today, but today is different. I'd like to start by rhetorically asking the question, how many of you really want to become funeral directors? This is rhetorical and my attempt to protect the innocent. Life is all about making choices. Whether you're the tender age of 20, which according to the data I received is the youngest graduate sitting here today, or 45, which would be the elder statesman of the group. You've already made many choices and sacrifices which have guided you to sit here this afternoon. And some of these earlier choices presented you with absolutely no idea that you would be not only in Pittsburgh, but sitting here this afternoon as a graduate of Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. If I look back at my high school yearbook, my future was pretty well laid out. I was going to become a clinical pharmacologist. I planned it carefully as I excelled in science and mathematics. I'm a numbers guy. Are you aware, graduates, of class or commencement number 168? There are 80% ladies sitting at graduation today. 20% of this group took 100% of their courses online. 7 states are represented here this afternoon as a 168th commencement exercises. And less than 2, and from what I heard this morning before we started, there may be no graduates sitting here today that are related to an owner from the campus program. That is unbelievable. Whenever I went to school, there were 90% of us that were related to an owner. And today, that has frittered away to last year, according to the American Board of Funeral Service Education, 17% were related to an owner. Now, that's a pretty decent number, but I digress. After graduating from pharmacy school, I was well on my way to my career goal. I was to continue my path to the University of Southern California School of Medicine for a dual doctoral MD PhD program. I was awarded a graduate scholarship. I made my way to San Francisco shortly following graduation to take my pharmacy boards because money was not going to be an obstacle. Everything was laid out. Life would have been very different. The military draft lottery, which took place in 1970, changed my choice, as it saw fit that I would spend some time in the United States Army Reserve, serendipitous of sorts. Moving forward, I would not have met my current and only wife, with whom I will be celebrating 50 years of marriage later this year. It also means that I wouldn't have 2 successful children who neither one of ever had to live in my basement. And I have 3 awesome grandchildren. Nor would I have had the honor of being here this afternoon with all of you. And you ask, how did you end up with a career in funeral service education for nearly 47 years? My uncle was a funeral director. He had a fairly successful ambulance service, as many did. He had 2 funeral home locations and was contemplating the purchase of a 3rd. I returned from active duty and was practicing pharmacy in the retail setting at the time, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. When we were sitting at a bar at my sister's wedding reception, where he said to me, "Have you ever thought about being a funeral director?" After a polite no, I thought it over, and within 6 months, I made the choice to attend Pittsburgh Institute. Dean William J. Masmano, who was the guy in charge of the day-to-day operations, pulled me into his office shortly after I started school and inquired about perhaps teaching at the school. After another polite no, I went on to work with my uncle, who did go on and purchase the third funeral home location. 6 months after school, Karen and I got married. Several years later, Dean Masmano persisted with his earlier inquiry and asked me if I was ready to start teaching. Another choice was made at that point to join the faculty. An unfortunate and very untimely death of Dean Masmano led to my position as the next dean of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. If my life had gone according to my plan, I would never have the life I have today. But serendipity saw it differently. Today, graduates, is a day of celebration, a day to celebrate all those late nights, late weekends, lost sleep, missed parties that you sacrificed to get you to this moment. Today is a day of thanks, a day to thank those who helped you get here. They financially supported you. They taught and mentored you, both in and out of the classroom. They cheered you on, they hugged you, and they dried your tears. Some of you may have had academic challenges. I haven't been at the day-to-day for a couple of years now, but I would guarantee you in every year that I was here, there were a few students that had academic challenges. That was a fact of life at Pittsburgh Institute. And as Dan Bongino wrote in his latest book, was just released in September, The Gift of Failure, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of the journey towards success. Leonard Cohen. How many people know who Leonard Cohen is? There are a few of you. Leonard Cohen was a Canadian singer, songwriter, poet, and perhaps, according to what I think, a contemporary philosopher who wrote probably the most famous song ever written. Do I have an answer? What was that famous song? Anybody? Hallelujah. As of this morning, when I checked on YouTube, Cohen's famous song had been viewed over 1 billion times on YouTube. But it wasn't a hit out of the park right off the bat, because after taking 10 years to write his song, with over 180 revisions to perfect it, he was releasing it to Columbia Records, who rejected it. He handed it off to a friend by the name of Bob Dylan, who put it on his tour as part of his repertoire, who sang it in a few concerts, only to find that there was still no critical acclaim. Cohen sunk into a very deep depression and spent the next 5 years in a monastery, a Buddhist monastery, trying to find himself. It wasn't until 2001, nearly 2 decades later, that it went by before a lunk of a large, hairy, green ogre by the name of Shrek that turned the song into a monster, quite literally. Today is a day of reflection, marking the end of one era of your life and the beginning of something new. I'm sure some of you may still be saying to yourself, did I make the right decision? A few of our graduates knew well before graduation that they were not going to be pursuing funeral service. They were not going to get a license. They were not going to serve an internship. But they did know that they were going to graduate. One of those graduates actually was number one in her class. But for some reason during her time at PIMS, decided this is not for me. They moved, several of them just moved on into a different direction. Defining moments do not always come as a result of some search and discovery. Most of us really aren't in search of a Indiana Jones experience. These moments are a result of some accidental or unintentional unveiling serendipity. They are profound, and choices are made in response. I never thought I'd be spending the next 46 years in the job experience of a lifetime. After all, I was going to USC. I was going to become a Trojan. I was going to get an MD, PhD in clinical pharmacology. And as I've told many over the years, discover or simply bump into your passion and then figure out a way to get paid for it. Many of our graduates are doing just that. They are very active and doing what they love, helping families in transition to a new phase of their life, having lost someone very close to them. Others are doing something totally different, both inside and outside of funeral service. Just last month, I ran into one of our graduates who was from a family business. He was a third-generation graduate, and I asked him how things were going and how the funeral home was going, and he said, well, I guess it's going okay, but I'm not working at the funeral home anymore. I said, well, what are you doing? He said, I'm selling highly sophisticated weapon systems to governments. I just looked at him and said, wow. That was a wow moment. But he loved what he was doing. And his biggest fear was that his company would be sold to another weapons company and he would lose his job because he had a passion for what he was doing. I was fortunate enough to have a similar type of an experience. As my wife would attest, I love my work every day, and she was kind of jealous. She was a seasoned professional, but she hated what she did, but she did it anyhow. Practitioner status wasn't for me, but through this accidental experience with Dean William Musmano, I had the career of a lifetime. You've all made choices to pursue death care. Some of you, since you came to Pittsburgh, may have already determined that death care really wasn't for you, and you're on to your next journey as a result of what you would have experienced here at PIMS. And I will tell you, if Dr. Lease and company led you to a decision not to pursue funeral service licensure, but rather steer your efforts and your energy into a different direction, that's okay. Practice your passion. Pursue your passion. But I will tell you that I've been very close to funeral service for quite some time. There have never been as many opportunities as there are today for licensed personnel. The demand is exceeding supply. The key to your success will be your willingness to pursue it, and that may include having to relocate. Many of you will go on to serve your internships. You'll earn your license, become happily employed and doing what you do, because without exception, No matter where you live on this planet, people seem to honor and celebrate the lives of those that touch their life. That's where you come in. You've received all the tools of the trade. You are the facilitators of this very important rite of passage. You are ready to create meaningful experiences, and you are ready to rock and roll. Some of you will choose to continue your education, whether you're licensed or not. Some of you will wander, trying to find yourselves in your place in this grand scheme called life. One of our graduates saw fit, after he graduated from mortuary school, to wander the planet. He was a deadhead. Do you folks know what a deadhead is? He followed the Grateful Dead on their world tour until it circled back to Pittsburgh. He was from a family operation, but he chose to be a deadhead and wander the planet. We have another one that after he graduated from college, he trekked around Europe with a backpack for 2 years, trying to find himself, trying to see the light. When he did, he married a young lady from the UK, returned back to Pittsburgh, went to mortuary school, and then moved into his family business and continued it. That's okay, you know? Life is complex and perhaps worth another look. Choices will evidence themselves. There is no doubt about it. Where will your future choices take you? Will you become a successful owner? Will you use your experience at PIMS as a guide to a future in medical school or law school or graduate school? Will your path lead to a career in funeral service education, as did I? Something, or maybe something you never even thought of, selling weapons. That's serendipity. That's why we're here today, to begin that journey. That's why this pomp and circumstance is called commencement. I'd like to put a wrapper on my message with a quote from a couple of lines of another song of Leonard Cohen's entitled Anthem. I'm not going to sing them, trust me. Where he said, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." If things would have gone according to my plan, I wouldn't have had the experience I have today with you. You've made it. Congratulations. Now it's time for you to turn the page and commence with a new chapter. And I would say to you, be flexible. Grab that brass ring. And for those of you that don't know the story behind the brass ring, Google does a very good job of explaining it. You have my very best wishes. I all wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Groddick. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Nicholas Ritchie to the podium to lead us all in what I referred to earlier is your willingness to make the covenant with this profession. I ask you to take this oath serious, live it out each day. This is your moment. Mr. Ritchie.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name, as Dr. Leese mentioned, is Nicholas Ritchie. I am a faculty member here at the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, and I have the great honor of administering the funeral service oath today. Before I begin, I just want to take a second to state how important this part of our ceremony is this afternoon. The importance of an oath and taking an oath seems to be a thing that's diminished in our society today. One of the oldest known oaths administered, the Hippocratic Oath, has been administered to medical professionals for over 1,500 years to this point. This tradition has been applied to most noble callings, including lawyers, new citizens to the United States, engineers, members of our nation's armed forces, pharmacists, even the President of the United States. An oath is a solemn and formal calling upon God to witness the truth of what one says, an attestation of the sincerity of what one intends to do, a ceremonial testimony of the invoidability of one's words. These definitions are loaded with powerful words. In summary, these are promises that you will never compromise in this profession. That is the importance of this oath which we are about to administer. At this time, I ask our graduates to please stand. In addition to that, I also invite any licensed funeral director that would like to stand and renew your oath today as well with our graduates. I ask that you please raise your right hand and repeat after me the words on the back of your program. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred.
I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred.
That I shall be loyal to the funeral service profession and just and generous to its members.
That I shall be loyal to the funeral service profession, just and generous to its members.
That I shall lead my life and my practice in uprightness and honor.
That I shall lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor.
That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the benefit and comfort of those bereaved.
That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the benefit and comfort of those bereaved.
That I shall not let the constant relationship and familiarity with death give me cause to yield to carelessness.
That I shall not let the constant relationship and familiarity with death give me cause to yield to carelessness.
Or to violate any obligation to society or to the dignity of my profession.
Or to violate any obligation to society or to the dignity of my profession.
That I shall abstain from every voluntary act of misconduct and corruption.
That I shall abstain from every voluntary act of misconduct and corruption.
That I shall obey the civil laws.
That I shall obey the civil laws.
That I shall not divulge professional confidences.
That I shall not divulge professional confidences.
And that I shall be faithful to those who have placed their trust in me.
And that I shall be faithful to those who have placed their trust in me.
While I continue to keep this oath unviolated.
While I continue to keep this oath unviolated.
May be it granted to me to enjoy honor in my life and in my profession.
May it be granted to me to enjoy honor in my life and in my profession.
And may I be respected by all people for all time.
And may I be respected by all people for all time.
Thank you. You may now be seated.
It's official now. You've made your covenant. Live it out. Live it out. make us proud. We present the class of the 168th commencement exercise at this point. To do so, I invite to the dais the Dean of Faculty and Students, Michael S. Burns.
Thank you, Dr. Leeson, and thank you, everyone, for your kind welcome. I, too, get to have the privilege of saying a few short words. During the summer of 1986, I was a skinny, brown-haired young man who thought he wanted to be a funeral director. Did my research and found the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. I called and applied and waited for a response. One day, a gentleman by the name of Dino Grodnick called me and asked me to come in for an interview. I was pretty nervous. My college grades were not the best. I had no family in the business, and I'd never even worked in a funeral home before. After about a 15-minute discussion with the then Dino Grodnick, he looked me in the eye and he said he would give me a chance at my brass ring. He also said, "I hope that you become a great funeral director, and I sincerely hope that you are successful." Gene, it took 38 years. How'd I do? All right. The key to this little story is the word sincerely. Do you know where the word came from? During the Renaissance, many famous marble statues, fountains, pillars, etc. were made. These statues were commissioned to great artists who spent years planning and carving these magnificent pieces of art. The problem was, when a piece of marble was chosen, there was no way to look inside the block of stone. Were there fissures? Were there cracks? Were there open spaces? Many times during the carving of these great statues and fountains, the artist would find these anomalies present. After spending months and sometimes years carving, and at such a great expense, it was not feasible to scrap the statue and try again. So what these artisans did was they filled the gaps and cracks with a thing called cherry wax. Cherry wax was wax mixed with powdered stone. They would fill in the cracks and the hollow spaces with cherry wax and keep on carving the marble as if nothing happened. Once this was discovered, the price of the work went down. If an artist was lucky enough to complete the project that had no cracks, he would claim that it was without wax to keep the price high. How does this all relate? In Latin, the word sine means without. The word cerasum means cherry wax. So if the phrase sine cerasum, it was without wax. Now we translate sine cerasum into the English word sincerely. We all know what that means: genuine, honest, and truthful. So again, those same words spoken to me 38 years ago by the then Dino Grodnick, I say to you, hope that you become great funeral directors, and sincerely hope that you are successful. Thank you. Now I get the best job of all. If Dr. Leese and Mrs. Alashko would please step up to the dais. At this time, we're going to announce the students, and they're going to come forward to receive their diplomas and degrees. The following students are awarded a diploma in embalming and funeral directing. Ethan Apple, who graduated cum laude. Kelly Bates. Lorraine Victoria Cousins. Angelina Marie Greco. Reed Hepp. Ashley Nicole Johnson. Angela Mercedes Jones. Carly Elizabeth Krellick. Graduating magna cum laude, Kayla Lafferty. Ella Josephine Lipscomb. Megan L. McAdory. Ashley Levane Ogilvie. Catherine Pavlik. Cassandra A. Pearsall. Jade Pulaski. Autumn Marie Rovnak. Elena C. Stahl. Graduating summa cum laude, Stephanie Taylor. Graduating cum laude, Anna E. Toomey. Ian Patrick Trainer. Isabella K. Vargo. Those receiving the next degree is the Associate and Specialized Technology degree in Funeral Services, Arts and Sciences. They are Ali Asalon, graduating magna cum laude, Leslie Batterson. Zoe Alexandra Boyd. Graduating summa cum laude, Marin Olivia Casto. Ariel Dixon. Graduating magna cum laude, Thomas Gaskin. Lainey Marie Galladay. Jennifer Lynn Hardman. Laura Elizabeth Heimbach. Graduating magna cum laude, Laurel Hallie Hoover. Amanda Colleen Knapp. Graduating cum laude, Erica E. Law. Magna cum laude, Andrew Lee Layton. Tiffany S. Manzaritis. Catherine Cynthia Mascree. Jenny L. Miller. Waleed Gamel Elmubashi. Chris Moore. Jamie Lynn Tush. Troy Franklin Showers, Jr. Deja Swain Williams. Krista Siobhan Urquhart. Harley Madison Wildeston, graduating summa cum laude. Also graduating summa cum laude, April L. Yurkovich. And now for the Associate in Specialized Business Degree in Funeral Service Management, Madison C. Bacher. Caitlin Nicole Curry. Nautica N. Go. Brooklyn L. Mayocker. To all the students awarded diploma associate degree today, please stand. All students, please stand. Stand up. It is now time to switch your tassels from the left to the right side of your cap. I present to you the class of the 168th commencement of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. You may be seated. I also have this distinction today to award some very special awards. The first award we're going to talk about today is the Memorial Award. Be it known that this memorial award was established to commemorate the contributions made by the alumni, students, and faculty at the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science in the service to their country. The recipient, who has been chosen by his or her classmates as the graduate who, through qualities of leadership, professional conduct, and good citizenship, best typified their ideals, is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Ethan Apple. The next award is the Kelco Supply Company Restorative Art Award. If I can ask Michael Berner, representative of Kelco, to please step forward to present this award. Be it known that the Kelco Supply Company Restorative Art Award was established in recognition of outstanding ability, attitude, commitment, and achievement in the areas of restorative art and cosmetology. Who, in the opinion of the clinical faculty of Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, merits this recognition, is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Anna Toomey. This award includes a plaque from the Kelco Supply Company and a certificate for $500 towards Kelco products. Thank you, Michael. Next award is the Dodge Award. If Matt Black, representative of the Dodge Chemical Company, please step forward to present this award. Be it known that the Dodge Award was established to recognize a student who has demonstrated both exceptional and theoretical expertise throughout the entire embalming curricula practicum. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Andrew Layton. This award includes an embalming kit provided by the Dodge Chemical Company. Thank you, Mr. Black. The next award is the Ohio Funeral Directors Association Award. It will be presented today by Dr. Lease. Be it known that the Ohio Funeral Directors Association offers this award as a symbol of leadership in the field of professional mortuary science education. This grant shall be used by the participant to further their knowledge and expand their learning opportunities throughout the state of Ohio. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Autumn Rovnak. This award includes a $500 gift certificate that can be used for any OFDA-hosted educational offering for the next 5 years. The next award is the Champion Award for Mortuary Science Excellence. If Mr. Paul Bowman, Vice President and General Manager of Champion, would please step forward. Be it known that the Champion Award for Mortuary Science Excellence is a criteria-based award of merit. This award bears the namesake of a company that has focused not only on providing state-of-the-art chemicals and products, but as indicated in the credo for its expanding encyclopedia, the Champion Company is dedicated to the furtherance of knowledge and education to the funeral service profession. This award is presented to the student who is recognized by members of the PIMS science faculty who have demonstrated the overall scholarship, aptitude, attitude, and practical skills, specifically in the core science component of the curriculum of the Institute. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Carly Krellick. This award includes the grave plaque and a credit with the champion company for $500. The William J. Musmetto Memorial Award. Be it known that the William J. Musmetto Memorial Award was established an award of merit in recognition of outstanding ability, attitude, commitment, and achievement in the clinical embalming lab practicum, who, in the opinion of the clinical faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, maintain the highest standards of decorum, professionalism, and proven skills in the clinical embalming arena. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Deja Swain Williams. This award includes an embalming kit provided by Mr. Wayne Irvine, a graduate of PIMS who also won this award, and a $500 check presented by the PIMS Board of Directors. The John Riebel Award and the ACFDA Award. If Maria Kuntz would please step to the dais. The Riebel Award will be represented by Dr. Leese, and Maria Kuntz will represent the Allegheny County Funeral Directors Association Award. Be it known that the John Riebel Award was established as an award of merit in recognition of outstanding scholastic achievement in all branches of the curriculum at the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. The Allegheny County Funeral Directors Award also offers an honor for the same achievement. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to two people this year. April Yurkovich and Stephanie Taylor. This award includes a check from the Allegheny County Funeral Directors Association for $250 and a check from $500 from the PIMS Board of Directors. Thank you, Maria. The William and Brenda Spence Award. If Mr. Spence would please step forward. Be it known that the William and Brenda Spence Award is an award of merit. This award is presented to a first-generation funeral director and resident of Pennsylvania who has proven their educational expertise and has a strong desire to help those less fortunate than themselves. It is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Leslie Batterson. This award includes a check for $1,000 from William and Brenda Spence. The Eugene C. Agrodnik Entrepreneurial Award. Mr. Agrodnik, please step forward. Be it known that the Eugene C. Agrodnik Entrepreneurial Award is a criteria-based award of merit. This award is presented to the student who demonstrated the qualities of stewardship, scholarship, and leadership. These qualities are indicated of the man who bears the namesake of this award. Through his passions for education, visionary prowess, and keen business acumen, he established the legacy of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science while shaping the funeral service profession in general. In honor of his namesake, this award is presented to the student who, as recognized by the core business faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, is deemed to have the entrepreneurial spirit and greatest potential to impact the funeral industry at large. Is hereby awarded this 12th day of January 2024 to Ethan Apple. This award includes a check for $500 from the PIMS Board of Directors and is matched by Mr. Eugene Agronik and his wife Karen in the amount of $500 for a total of $1,000. This next award is very important. It's the Mu Sigma Award. I'm going to ask the participants to please step forward first, and then I'm going to describe what this award means. If the following people will still step forward: April Yurkovich, Ethan Apple, Jenny Miller, Thomas Gaskin, and Laurel Hoover. The National Association of Colleges of Mortuary Science have established an honorary society to give recognition to those students of mortuary science who have displayed outstanding merit in scholarship and who have conducted themselves as good citizens of the schools they have attended. The recipients of this award have been carefully screened by the faculty and constitute 10% of the graduating class. The name of the society is Mu Sigma Alpha, which stands for Mortuary Science Award. Part of this award includes a pin. As you examine this, you will see the symbols which are engraved thereon, being an open book placed over a spray of laurel, a lighted lamp, and the word award. The book is a symbol of knowledge and wisdom of the ages. The book is open to indicate that knowledge is available to all mankind. The spray of laurel designates a symbol of achievement. The lamp of learning is a symbol of scholarship, diligence, and perseverance, irrespective of time. The word award is added for all to know the purpose of the award, to honor those who qualify and are chosen. This distinction includes a $1,000 check from the PIMS Board of Directors for each in recognition of their prestigious award. Cherish this award, for it is our way of recognizing what you have done while you were with us. It is our confidence that you go into your chosen profession, you will not only be graduates of whom we are proud, but also ones who carry in the years to come the high standards which you have so outstandingly demonstrated while completing your education. Congratulations. Thank you.
We're almost done. Graduates, if you'll just permit me a moment. Mr. Burns shared a personal story about Dean Ogrodnik, and I know many of you do, you know us. But if I could just share a story so you kind of know him too, and how we got to maybe where we're at and how he contributed. In 1996, I came to the mortuary school. I graduated in '85. And I came to the mortuary school. I just went out. I went 2 years to Duquesne University, and then I went 1 year to mortuary school. I did not finish a bachelor's degree. I know you see all this stuff. I have the degrees now, but at that time I didn't. And I was hired on to be a clinical embalming instructor. As many of you know, you embalm next door. Sorry, it's not going to be in our brand new embalming room that's soon to open, okay, this week, but I apologize, it is ready. But anyway, I was hired on, and Dean Ogrodnik sat me down, and I was a bit of a fool of myself back in '96. And I sat down and I said to Dean Ogrodnik, I said, so I'm ready to start teaching. You might as well just hire me. I'll teach all the classes. And I'd worked at a pretty big firm, so I had a lot of experience. And I said, just I'll do everything. To kind of know the man, I hope this kind of comes through as it's intended, because I'm here today probably a lot because of that, what he said to me. He looks at me in his steely eyes and he goes, "You mean nothing to me right now. You're a nothing. Go get your bachelor's degree and prove yourself." Well, I not only got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, a PA certification, and a doctorate. Thank you, Dean O'Brien. And now I humbly replaced him, which is serendipity. So thank you for letting me share that story. I'd like to invite, for the closing remarks, Stephanie Taylor and April Yurkovich to the dais. They represent the campus and the online program, the PIMS family together, where they will say some closing remarks. Stephanie first.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. My name is Stephanie Taylor, and I am honored to represent my class today. First, I would like to thank my parents, my family and friends, and especially my wife, Amanda, for their unconditional love and support that I have felt every step of the way. And to the family and friends that I have made here at PIMS, I would have lost my sanity a long time ago if it were not for the relationships that I have built while being here. I would also like to thank the faculty at PIMS. This institution would not be what it is if it were not for the people inside these walls dedicated to molding us into the best funeral directors that we can be. I have learned something valuable from each member of the faculty, and by sharing their own experiences, they have taught me more about what makes a great funeral director than I have learned from any textbook. And I think that speaks volumes about how lucky we are to be students at PIMS. We have learned from Mr. Ritchie that it is possible to get excited about math and accounting. You should see this man's face when he gets to pull out an Excel sheet. He also taught us how to put together a business plan, which I hope many of you get to use in the future. I personally never want to see another business plan ever again. We learned from Ms. Cush how important it is to have women in this profession. We do make a difference, and I know from what I have learned from her that she has made a positive and important impact on many people and families that she has served, and she has certainly made an impact on me. We have learned from Ms. Cush and Mr. Catalfu that you can be true to your style and aesthetic while still being a respectable and professional funeral director, as long as you present yourself to each family in a respectful and professional way. I also admire Mr. Catalfu and his love for animals. For many of us, it's very relatable, and he has inspired me to make pet services an important part of my future career. We have learned from our school mascot and the goodest girl, Sydney, that her weekly hugs and kisses have made a difference in our mental health, especially on the hard days. And Dean Burns has taught us all about clean, firm, dry. And we've also learned that there's no one else on this planet who loves to drink milk as much as he does. But we have also learned from Dean Burns what it feels like to have a mentor who cares about the success of each one of us. He sees us each as individuals, and when he lectures, it's not because he has to, but because he truly wants to see us become the best that we can be. And I thank you, Dean Burns, for being such a big role in my success. We are often questioned, why is it that we want to be funeral directors or embalmers? We are all here because we want to serve the families in pain and hopefully ease some of that pain by being there for them in every aspect that we have been taught to. I know we will make an important difference in the numerous amount of lives of the people that we touch throughout our careers. The road leading up to today has been challenging. The workload has been heavy and strenuous, and sometimes it felt like it would never end. There's been lots of blood, not our own, sometimes sweat when we couldn't figure out how to turn on the air conditioner in the prep room, and a lot of tears. But we persevered and pushed through every challenge we faced, and I believe we're all better people after our experience at PIMS. We've gotten through our hardest days academically speaking, but now we must venture off and find our way out in the funeral service world without the faculty to point us in every right direction. Some of us are beginning internships, some of us are moving out of state, and some still figuring out where we go from here. But one thing is for certain, and that is that each person before me today will make a positive impact in someone's life because when this profession called to us, we listened. And before we go our separate ways, I want to wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you acknowledge that today is a big deal. Our hard work and dedication has finally paid off, and I am so proud of us for everything that we have accomplished. We have been the proud students of PIMS every day for what has felt like forever. But today and every day hereafter, we are the proud graduates of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. We made it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. There's a debated statistic that most people fear public speaking more than death. I don't know where the research sample came from, but it must have been a room full of morticians because when Dean Burns asked me to speak on behalf of the online students, I could have easily curled up inside a casket instead. And so for me, this statistic is fitting, which is why I have spent my insomniac hours over the last few nights watching old PIMS commencement videos to prepare myself for the honor of giving this speech today. And yet, I still don't know what I'm doing. However, the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science did prepare me and my fellow online classmates very well for the demands of funeral service. Not just the academics and learning the trade skills necessary to perform our jobs, but in fully immersing us in the challenging depths of the lifestyle that is serving the bereaved as we juggled the rigorous coursework and our practicums with working full-time. We also had to learn how to balance school and work with the rest of our lives, with our family, our friends, relationships, hobbies, and finding time for much-needed rest. And for my classmates who have kids, I really don't know how you did it. In all honesty, it was not entirely balanced, and there were definitely sacrifices made, which is not unusual in the mortuary field. But with that said, it is important for us as graduates to keep balance in mind, as to not burn ourselves out and to allow us to best serve those who are in our care. And while we care for others, we must not forget those who care for us, our support system, who have helped us through our educational journey. I personally don't know what I would have done these last couple of years without the support of my family, my friends, and my fellow classmates, some who have turned into close friends despite our physical distance. I am forever grateful for them all. I am also deeply appreciative of the support I have received from the instructors and staff at PIMS, from Dr. Lees taking time to meet with me one morning to discuss my extensive list of anxieties, although he did make me cry when he told me the story of Cody's wish. And after Dr. Lees made me cry, Dean Burns helped set me up to do some embalmings at the school to help me feel more proficient and confident in my skills. Additionally, I appreciate the support from the unexpected people and the unexpected places, such as my dual enrollment at YSU from the Allied Health Program Director, Dr. Steffen, for she saw the value of funeral service practitioners and embraced me into her online program and has since welcomed more PIMS students to earn their bachelor's degree. We should treasure our support system, as they will be those who continue to help get us through our most challenging days, those days that may make us second-guess our career choice. I understand I am lucky, and that there are those who are graduating that may not have such support system. I hope you'd find them. as you deserve the same love and care that you give to those who you serve. And as we graduates are united here today in our passion and dedication for funeral service, I ask that we remain united in our support and compassion for one another, because it is us who truly understand what it takes to work in this field. While we meet the end of our traditional mortuary education, it is not the end of our evolution. I hope that all of us continue to learn, to grow, to improve, and to challenge our doubts and face our fears, both as individuals and professionals. And so while I have faced my fear of public speaking today, my second greatest fear is being late for my restaurant reservation and finding a parking spot downtown. And so with that, I wish you all luck, success, and peace. Congratulations, graduates. I'm very proud of all of you. Thank you, everyone.
At this time, if I can invite Madison Bacher to the dais to lead us in the singing of America the Beautiful. I would ask if everyone would please stand. And Madison will be our leader today in song and celebration. Madison. Friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, let's do one more thing that's a little different for this group. Typically, as we exit, myself and the speaker will lead you out. But something tells me this class might want something different. Mr. Lachko, would you please bring our favorite living being at PIMS to take us out for the 168th commencement exercises? Congratulations, Sydney will lead us out.